Hi everyone, and welcome to Odooistic, and welcome back to our Python programming series, episode number 8. In today's video, we will explore one of the most fundamental building blocks of programming, which is functions. Functions allow you to organize your code into reusable blocks, making it cleaner, easier to debug, and more efficient. By the end of this video, you will understand what functions are and why they are important, how to define and call functions in Python, how to use arguments, return values, and apply them in real-world scenarios. We will also cover practical examples to show you how functions can simplify your code. Let's get started. So, what are functions? A function is a reusable block of code designed to perform a specific task instead of repeating the same code multiple times. You can define a function once and call it whenever needed. Functions enhance modularity, reduce redundancy, and improve the readability of your programs. So key characteristics of functions. Functions take inputs, called parameters or arguments. They perform operations using the provided inputs. They can return outputs or execute a set of statements. Why we are using functions? So it's for code reusability, better organization, split your program into logical parts, improved readability, make your code easier to understand, and then ease of maintenance, update the logic in one place. So let's start. This is Visual Studio Code as always. So we can define a function in Python using the def keyword. The general syntax will be def and then function name. And then in bracket, there will be parameters. And after that, colons. So, and then in next line, it will start with the indentation, and then we can just say return value. Okay, let's look at a simple example. I create a function which is function, and the name of this function, we call it greet. Then colons, is a print hello, welcome to Python programming. That's it. Okay, and after that, once our function has been created, how to call this function? We only place the name of the function and then just this bracket. That's it. So this is how we can call the function. Let's run this. So as you can see, the output has been provided and it's saying, hello, welcome to Python programming in this line. Defining the function. So first def greet and in brackets. So this is how we can create a function named greet in the first line. Then the print statement is the function's task, and then calling the function greet and in bracket executes the function's code. In next example, how we can use parameters and functions. So functions can accept inputs called parameters, and these make functions dynamic and flexible. Let's do another example. So we create another function which is greet user, or in these brackets what we will put, that will be parameter. So the parameter I have placed it name, and now we say print right, and then we call the function. And now input we will give Alice, or we say odoo stick. Let's run this function. Let's run this file. So as you can see, it has said hello odoo stick, welcome back. So the parameter name acts as a placeholder here in this function. When calling the function, odoo stick is passed as an argument which replaces name. Very simple. So functions can return values as well to the caller using the return statement, and this is useful for calculations or data. Let me give you one example. So we said define another function, add number, and then in parameters we say a comma b. There are two parameters we use now, and now we say return a plus b. Result add underscore number, and now we give those parameters 5 and 3 inputs. Sorry, here it's add numbers, not number. And then we print right. Let's run this. So as you can see, the sum is 8 here. Return a plus b sends the result of a plus b back to the caller, and the returned value is stored in result and printed then. You can also assign default values to function parameters if no argument is provided. The default value is used. So let's start with another example. And name is first parameter, and then age is second parameter. We print name, and then we call it name, age, right, and after that we call the function, and here we can give the parameters value. Let's run this. So as you can see, name is Farooq and age is 25. Let's create a function to generate the Fibonacci sequence up to a certain number. Okay. We create an example using a Fibonacci sequence. So first let me tell you, the Fibonacci sequence is a series of numbers where each number is a sum of the two preceding numbers. For example, we start with 0 and then after that it's 1. So now if you add 0 and 1, it will be 1. Now you add 1 plus 1, it will be 2. Now 2 plus 1 is 3. Then 3 plus 2 is 5. And then 5 plus 3 is 8. Then 8 plus 5 is 13. And then 13 plus 8, 21. 21 and 13, 34. And then 55, 89, 144, 233, 377, 610, and so on and on and on. This is called Fibonacci sequence. So let me just create another example, practical example. So we say our function name is Fibonacci and our parameter is n. So now we start empty list, which is sequence, and a comma b is equal to 0 and 1. Now we start a loop while a less than equal to n, sequence dot append a, and then a comma b is equal to b comma a plus b. And now we can return sequence. Okay, let's call this method. We say num is equal to 20. So we want to do up till 20, and now we print sequence up to num, which is 20. Fibonacci right. Let's run this method. Run this file. And if you see the Fibonacci sequence up to 20, 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, and 13. So first of all, we have started with a is equal to 0 and b is equal to 1, as you can see here. Then we append a to the sequence. Then update a and b using b and a plus b. So condition stop when a exceeds n. So this example actually demonstrates how a function can generate a series of values dynamically. Variables defined inside a function are local and can't be accessed outside. Variables defined outside are global and can be accessed everywhere. So let me give you one more example for variable scope. So we are defining another function which is called local scope. Now x is equal to 10. So this is a local variable. X is equal to 10. This is a local variable. Print and now local scope method. That's it. Let's run this. As you can see, inside function x is equal to 10. So this is a great example where variables defined inside a function are local. So x has been defined inside a function, so that is a local and can't be accessed outside. It cannot access outside, but variables outside the functions defined are global and can be accessed everywhere. So I hope a great job. In this video, we covered how to define and call functions using parameters and return values to make functions dynamic, default and keyword arguments for added flexibility, practical examples like generating Fibonacci sequences. So functions are the building blocks of efficient and reusable code. Practice writing your own functions to solidify these concepts. In the next video, we will explore Python modules and libraries to take your programming to the next level, and also talk about the lists, tuples, and dictionaries as well in incoming lessons. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment with any questions or examples you have tried. See you in the next lesson, and happy coding. I will also leave a practical assignment as well for you. Also try to complete that. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.